Hey guys, welcome to Brief Recap.
Today, I am going to explain a 2009 mystery thriller film called Echelon Conspiracy. Spoilers ahead. Watch out and take care. At the beginning of the movie, a woman is shown in Washington, D.C., who is making her way to an underground subway. As she makes her way through the platform while being watched, she also receives a text message, not to take the train but to go to the tunnel instead. So, she makes her way into the tunnel. There, she receives another text message saying, "The answer lies under crossing 1114. After seeing this, she stops at that crossing but finds nothing. However, a train arrives towards her, and she runs and jumps towards another rail track to find another train, but she gets run over instantly. After a few weeks, Max, a young American ethical hacker, who is on a trip to Bangkok to fix the security patches of a firm, shows the owner how to deal with a security breach. One day, when he is in the hotel, he receives a text message, saying that there's no need to rush home, and that hotel prices are half this weekend. Then, he confirms it with the front desk and extends his stay. After a few days, in Moscow, Russia, a man gets a text that a new phone is activated back in Bangkok. Soon, Max gets a text asking him to buy the shares of Scissors and make money. A few hours later, he finds out from the news that the price of shares tripled. After that, when he is checking out of the hotel, he gets another text, telling him to go to Prague. Then, he also sees a taxi driver, convincing him to go with him, since he speaks English there. Once he is in a taxi, he receives two text messages. One telling him that he's going to be rich, and another one to go to the Empire Hotel. The taxi driver, named Yuri, gives him his card saying he's a hacker as well, and if he needs him, he will be there. Now, upon arrival at the hotel, he gets a new text message, telling him to go to slot machine 13. Seeing this message, he goes there and finds a man there. After a while, he receives another text that says, after the 3 turns, the 4th turn will be a jackpot. So he pays the man off by giving him €100. He is also being watched on the 4th try, as the text message says, he wins the €100,000 jackpot. Now, in the control room, John, who is the casino security manager and a former FBI agent, does a background check on him. They find out that he is American, with no criminal records. After some time, when John finds out that Max is using a phone, he sends a guard and they tell him that phones are not allowed in casinos, to which he replies that he got a text from his mom. Then, Max goes out and calls Yuri for help. He then decides to go back to the hotel, not knowing of all the cameras, and he goes to the corridor and comes across Camilla. Now, they both share a connection instantly. Now, Max takes the help of Yuri, a taxi driver and a hacker, who goes through his phone and says he can find out who's texting him, but his equipment is in Russia. Max then pays him €100 for his help. After that, he goes in and follows the instructions from the text. While everyone is watching him, he hits the €3 million jackpot on a slot machine, but then the guards approach him and he runs away. Now, the FBI agent, Dave Grant, interrupts the chase and knocks him down, then handcuffs Max to interrogate him about the phone. Suddenly, John shows up and it turns out that he knows Agent Grant, as they used to work together. After that, Grant takes Max by saying, now he is in the business of the FBI, not a casino. Then he takes Max to an isolated abandoned warehouse to interrogate him further. After some interrogation, they decide to release Max, by saying that they need him to find the sender. Later, in Maryland, Raymond Burke, who is the head of the National Security Agency NSA, receives a call from Agent Grant. Apparently, they're monitoring Max. Grant then tells him that the boy doesn't know anything but assures Raymond that he will find out about it. Back in Prague, John visits Mueller, who is the owner of the casino, and tells him that the FBI took Max because there is an unknown sender behind the text, and also that there are some people who died. Now, Agent Grant and John tell Max that they need at least 3 texts from an unknown sender, so they can track the sender, with the help of Raymond at NSA headquarters. Max then goes to the casino and turns on his phone making a signal, and soon he receives a text, saying go to table 17, and the team starts tracking the sender. After that, he goes to table 17, where he gets another text, and soon Raymond finds something. He immediately orders Grant to bring back the boy. In the meantime, Max gets a warning, not to turn off his phone or he will be dead. On the other hand, in the headquarters, Raymond says that messages are coming from an Echelon security system, and he thinks it is hacked. Soon, the guards come and take Max. Raymond also asks to see for any breaches in the system. Now, a sniper is seen outside Camilla's place. Inside, Max compliments Camilla, by saying that she looks beautiful this way. Then, he finds an article on the Echelon security system, that the only reason the system wasn't accepted in national defense was due to the fact that they lost by 1 vote. Camilla then tells him that maybe the NSA can win this time. But he suspects her now as he never mentioned NSA to her. As she looks outside the window, she sees a sniper, and then she instantly pushes Max on the ground. After that, Camilla notices the guard at the door, so she grabs a tool, and she stabs one of the guards with it and gets shot. Then, she runs towards the guard and kicks him. Finally, Max grabs a sharp object and stabs the guard with it. After that, John opens the door to pick up Max, and he tells him that Camilla scanned his SIM while he was unconscious, and she works with him. Later, Raymond sends a sniper to eliminate Max, as he knows a lot by now. Then, Grant gets a message, asking him to hand over Max or he'll be dead. In the car, Max convinces John to take him to Russia to get help from Yuri. After some time, Max gives the driver his address and says the seat belts are not working. The driver then says that this is Russia, if you wear seat belts police will suspect you. Then, they arrive at Yuri's place and there they are being watched. Now, Yuri is happy to see him. John then asks him if he's an army or an agent, to which Yuri says that he is just a hacker, and he wants to know about the sender as much as he does. Then, he asks for 3 hours of time. After some time, Yuri says that he found that the reason there was no breach found in the Echelon system was because there is no breach, and the messages were sent by the system itself. They don't believe him, but then Yuri explains that the system is using cameras all around the world as its eyes, and using the neural network to predict things, and have its own mind. Then, he shows how the system observed and predicted to vent the moves of blackjack at casinos, and he says that the system is so powerful that it can monitor every single person with a phone or tablet, making privacy cease to exist. Then Yuri points out the guards approaching them, and then they make their run towards the exit. There, they steal a van from outside. As they make their way to the main street, they are chased by guards. John then makes a move and knocks down one of the cars, saying that he learned to drive in Brooklyn. Later, they reach a railway track and guards, and soon Agent Grant catches up with them. Now, John reverses the car and knocks down Grant's car. After that, John points a shotgun at Grant and asks him to tell them everything. Grant then tells them that he got a text threatening his life to find Max or he will be dead, and that he wants to find the sender as much as they do. Max then replies that he believes him, and soon they receive a text with the location details. After that, they fly to that place, which turns out to be a backup server for the state of Nebraska, which is not currently being used. Max then says that he has worked at the security patch for that server, and that he knows that place. Upon arrival, they meet the SWAT team to help them get access to the place. Then, the SWAT team bombs the door and takes it down. Now, the team goes and gives clearance to them. While they're inside, the camera sees them, and Max gets a text that says authorized BIOS. Then, Grant asks Raymond about it, and gets his permission to do so, to send the SWAT team away. Meanwhile, Max turns on the power supply of the server. Once the servers are on, he logs into the system, but finds nothing. Then the expert from NSA checks it and finds nothing there, so they go outside. When they go outside, they see some activity on the screen back in NSA, soon they inform Raymond. Meanwhile, outside Grant orders the guard to leave, and now it makes sense to him about the link between all the victims. Grant then explains that people who died earlier must have tried to stop the Echelon system. When they went inside, they find out that the Echelon system has transferred itself from NSA Maryland to Nebraska. They then see the system upgrading itself. Max then says that he will shut the system down. He also gets a warning not to try it, and the system shows the credit information of thousands of people. Now, they know the reason that the first person was killed, because he was the CEO of the credit firm. Then, the lady, because she worked in security systems at the Pentagon, and Max was given a phone as he was the only one to get access to the backup server. After that, Grant gets a call from Raymond, so he goes out, and Max takes down the power supply with his belt. Raymond then tells him that the president wants an Echelon to protect America, and if anyone comes between it, they will be taken down. Then, Raymond contacts the guards to go back to the server. Max then connects his earbuds with the system, and starts talking to it, that it is going against its major purpose by destroying everyone's privacy, and it is not programmed to do so. Soon, the guards approach them, and they all start firing surprisingly upon what Max said, as there is a conflict in the neural network of the system, and when the upgrade is about to finish, the system shows hundreds of articles, where it says how it destroys the privacy of people. Also, there is a shift in the system and before the upgrade installs, it disregards it and shuts down the server on its own. Then, the guards overpower them, and they all surrender. After that, Raymond assures the president that the system is down, but they will try to run it again. After major fixes, John sends a text to Mueller that the problem is solved now. Later, Max gets bailed from the prison, and they tell him that Raymond will avoid public attention, and that Camilla has paid for his bail. Now, Grant asks John if he will work with the FBI again, to which John replies, only if he gets his old office outside. Camilla then tells him that she missed him, and shows him the check of 3 million euros that Mueller has sent for him. Then, he tells Camilla that they'll go to Paris and kisses her passionately. He then gets a text, saying congrats and to say hi to his mom. That text recalls the time, when Max was showing his phone to Yuri, and told him that the texts are from his mom, and now it is revealed that John was right about Yuri, and it turns out Yuri works for the Russian army. In the end, the general of the Russian army congratulates Yuri on his mission, but Yuri replies that soon Americans will try to use the system again. At last, when the general leaves, he presses a button on his phone. Subscribe for more videos like this, turn on notifications, and leave a like to help the channel out.